So what we have here is our LS big block valve cover. We're just going to show how to drill and install the rivet nuts, so when you put it on the engine, it's secure. And so this is our plate that we made originally to put on top of the valve cover, and then your coil pack goes on top of that. This is all to hide the coil pack and still get the look of that big block valve cover. So we're basically marking the 5 holes that hold the coil pack into place. And so we're going to want to drill those 5 holes in order for this fastener we have, which is a
NIM 6-1, 25 millimeters long, and a 17 millimeter washer.
So we're going to start off with our basic pilot hole, basically center it and drill it. I marked them so we don't drill the wrong holes. So we start off with our pilot is an 1/8 inch. We're going to step up to a 1/4 inch. Keep in mind these are carbon fiber that we're doing this with. Make them in carbon fiber, or we make them in our standard fiberglass if you want to paint them the orange look of a
Original big block.
So that's 1/4 inch hole. As long as we line up on all of our holes, we should be good. This is a standard valve cover on an LS engine. Right now what we have is our mock-up. So we just want to fit it, make sure the fasteners are doing their job. Okay, so our fasteners are there. Our holes are centered. We're good to go. First step handled. Now the next step is attaching the valve cover to our base. And we're basically going to center our valve cover to the base. And so we haven't drilled any of the holes yet in the valve cover or the base for retaining the valve cover. First, we're going to get the valve covered position, which isn't real tough to do. You go around and make sure that it's fitting the base nice, and you just pull your tape up to hold the cover to the base to where you want it. So we have a grand total of 5 fasteners that we're putting into this. 3 across the top and 2 on the bottom. So our little cheat sheet that we made, which is right here, we're gonna put a 1024 jack nut in there. So our first hole is going to be a 3/16 drill. So here's the 3/16 drill. So we're going to drill this through the valve cover and the retainer all at the same time so they line up. It's going to line up our valve cover to our retainer. You also got to make sure that the chuck of your drill doesn't hit your valve cover when you're doing this, because when you push it through the rest of the way, it could slip down and hit that valve cover and make a mark. You don't want to make sure that happens. So protect that chuck not to hit the valve cover. So there's your 2 bottom holes drilled through the valve cover and the retainer plate. And there's the 3 top holes drilled through all that. So we're going to remove our tape, set our valve cover off to the side. So for our rivet, we have our 3/16 holes drilled. Now we're going to drill the base plate with a 5/16. There's our 2 bottom and our 3 top. And you just want to make sure the back side is flat, so when you're putting this retainer up to the valve cover, it sits nice and flat. So we have 5 of the 1024 rivet nut, and so your rivet nuts are going to go in these outer perimeters. So it's basically, you just put the little rivet nut on the tool. I made this little plate up to set the retainer on so the rivet nut can come down. We set our tool on the table and just put the leverage to it. Pretty simple. And we do this a total of 5 times. This is our 2 top holes. We do our 3 bottom holes. A little leverage. That rivet nut does a great job. So there's your 5 rivet nuts in place. So now we're going to take our retainer plate with our coil pack and our 5 fasteners, and we're going to fasten down our retainer plate with our coil pack. And when you put them on permanently, I would suggest some thread lock on the bolts just to keep them from vibrating out. And you don't want to over tighten them, because if you over tighten them, then your valve cover is not going to look nice. And so now we have our coil pack installed, and we're going to grab ourselves some 1024 by 3/4 inch, 5 of them, and we're going to install our 5 screws. So we're going to come back and snug in our screws with a screwdriver, not the screw gun. Just want to get it to where it's snug. So there's our look of the LS valve cover on our mock-up engine. This is our edition of the carbon fiber air cleaner, which the base is made to fit top of your throttle body. And then we modified a set of big block valve covers, because the original valve covers would be too long and look out of place on this engine. So we modified the valve covers drastically, but you still have the appearance of the big block. Thanks for watching.